Hi, my name's Bruce. This is my channel and I hope that you've been enjoying it, really. I make these videos because I try to convey some experience and education I have in the areas of public policy and economics and just stuff in general. If you haven't subscribed and you're interested in this, or you've seen a few videos and think, geez, maybe I should subscribe, please do. Everyone says please subscribe. I'm just saying please subscribe. I'm on a membership drive. I'm hoping to get to, what's the magic number here? 615 subscribers. That'd be wonderful. I'd never in a million years imagine that would ever happen, but that's the goal. Anyway, if you've been following along, you'll know that recently, 29 days ago, I think it's 29 days ago, I had hip replacement surgery. And so if you're wondering how I'm doing, oh, this shot shows the best, but how I'm doing is, I'm doing A-okay. Great, very happy. And talking on that, just in a public policy method, I received a phone call the other day from my surgeon. Might seem a little strange to receive a phone call from your surgeon, but if you think about it, in the sense of trying to maximize the benefit for everyone, we do a lot of these surgeries because there's a lot of people that have this problem or similar problems, and it's remediated by this surgery or similar surgeries. So there's quite a few of these surgeries that happen. And for my surgeon to phone me up and spend it was about 90 seconds we talked on the phone, maybe a little bit more, approximately. And so he basically said, how you doing? How's things? He asked about the incision, he asked about my comfort, pain. I said, I'm doing great. I'm able to walk without assistance, I ride my bike, I do all this stuff, I'm doing great. But the point of me mentioning this is because the sheer wisdom of that. So certainly the surgeon was working his way down a call list, so maybe he's taking 15 minutes out of his day to phone 10 patients. Wow, talk about efficiency. And then you can quickly identify someone that may need some more serious attention other than a phone call, right? Maybe somebody's not having the same experience that I am. Maybe they need to come in for a visit or whatever. But I just thought in terms of addressing a need, I thought that was really excellent. Very, very happy with that. So there, I thought I'd mention that. And then earlier, I think my last video, or I'm not certain what sequence these things show up in, but a while ago, my video was about talking about the province of Ontario and how the Premier has decided that he never liked bicycles. Really, he never liked bike lanes. His brother certainly didn't like bicycles, didn't like bike lanes, and so he's decided that he's going to be, I think the technical word is paternalistic, that if you want to install a bike lane in your city or town, in spite of what your university educated experts who have spent a lifetime studying transportation, a lifetime studying public policy, a lifetime studying urban planning, a lifetime studying this specific matters, that in spite of what these people say, if you want to install a bike lane, then you must gain the permission of the Premier before you can do that. And it's paternalistic. It's a very, very bad idea. It's a bad look. It doesn't look good on the Premier even saying that. It kind of says, hey, you know what? Look at me, I know everything about everything, and if you want to do anything, you better ask. All right, that's just not good. But I recently had an experience. I bicycle, that's no secret, but I also drive my car. I also take the public transit system. I also do everything, right? I drive my car a lot. And so the other day I was driving my car across town here in Canada's largest city, and you know what? I was in the area where the focus of this bike lane discussion was, and I'm observing the number of bicycles, the number of people transporting themselves, going about their lives on bicycles, and then I'm looking at the number of cars, and by my nature, I'm a counter. I count things all the time. So, a bit odd, I get it. But it wasn't even close. There were bicycles everywhere. You're at a stoplight and all of a sudden there's 30 or 40 bikes stopped at the stoplight and they're going, and if you count the number of cars, there's like 6 cars, and then you go to the next stoplight the same, and it's a continual stream of bikes coming from every direction. It's a really big deal. And in the last video I mentioned that by my house there's an actual counter. There's a counter that counts the number of bicycles that go past, and I'll go by quite often around 8 o'clock in the evening, and I'll look at the counter and it'll have a number like 4,000. It might be like 3,915, or it might be like 4,102, but it's a number like 4,000. And so the idea that people don't bike is crazy. Now, I'd mentioned earlier that there's a negative to bike lanes, and the negative is that you don't want to install bike lanes and then go, okay, look at us, we're good, done. Because transportation is much more than bike lanes. Transportation is a combination of private automobiles, public automobiles, transit of all sorts, things that are accessible and barrier-free to everyone. Toronto is this Canada's largest city, is a catastrophe when it comes to accessibility. Really, it's awful. It's a horror show. And I always knew that, and I've always been vocal on that matter, but in my early period after this particular surgery, and I was traveling around town, I had to use a walker. Goodness gracious, it was nearly impossible. And my heart goes out to people that are really, I don't know what the right phrase is exactly, but people that have to navigate the city on a permanent basis and face these challenges always. It's not fair, it's not good. And Toronto is not emblematic of the rest of Canada. The rest of Canada is far better. And the United States, they have the Americans with Disabilities Act, which is great. And what happens is American companies like Starbucks come to Canada and they set up shop, and their establishments are compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act. So they have wonderfully accessible spaces, but the local owned places, no, not so much. The place today, lunch, was an accessible catastrophe. Really, it's bad. I don't know how these people how they're permitted to open. I don't understand it. Anyway, moving it along, and this is the actual topic of the video. The Premier of Ontario thinks that sending every person $200 is somehow a good idea. It's not. I'm not one to turn down $200. You stop me in the street and give me $200, I'm like, thank you. But if you're the Premier of Ontario, or you're the leader of any area, it is your job to maximize the well-being of everyone. There are competing interests. Bike lanes. Some people like bike lanes, some people don't like bike lanes. Some people bike, some people don't. Some people can understand how even if they don't bike, bike lanes are good, and some people just don't get it. That's fine. But your job is to balance these competing interests. That's it. It is not your job to send everybody $200. Okay? This first happened in, I think it was 1999 or 2000, when the Premier at that time, who's a famous Premier for being very, very poor, doing a very, very bad job, Premier Mike Harris, he sent everybody $200, or something like $200, and that was just, it doesn't really help. I mean, if you don't have any money and $200 shows up, great, but come on, you got to do better. You have to do better. Now look at the things that are not doing well. You can say, in this area, what is not going well? Okay, our healthcare system, that can certainly be better. So the success of my surgery is in spite of government policy rather than because of government policy. The people that are on the front line in the hospitals are magically professional, and they're able to cope and adopt and adapt and respond to changes they should not have to respond to, and they do a fabulous job. And then some of the clinics, the family health clinics are magical. They're an example of really administrative perfection. They're doing a wonderful job. I'm lucky enough to be part of one of these things. So as a matter of public policy, if you're the Premier, then what you want to do is you want to identify successes and build on those successes. Identify shortcomings and correct those shortcomings. And none of that involves sending $200 to everybody. Now, so in Canada, I've said before, but the provincial government is strictly responsible for education, healthcare, energy, transportation, and mineral resources. There you go. So on these fronts, you say, well, other than those $200, what can you do? Well, education. Education is another front in the province of Ontario that is really, it's under assault. Okay, the primary school education system is not doing well. Teachers are not happy. That's an example. All of the universities, except for I think one, are facing tremendous funding shortfalls. That's just not good. And we have the Premier, there you are, energy. Okay, the current provincial government is kind of secretly building nuclear plants, or they're soft pedaling it. They're doing a lot of marketing. There's a lot of advertising constantly on television. It seems like we're in the middle of an election campaign, but it's not. But they always say it's clean, inexpensive nuclear energy that's making your life possible. Now, I've discussed nuclear energy in the past and how it is in the go forward. If you need more electrical generation, nuclear is just a very catastrophically bad idea. And all throughout the world, there's other jurisdictions that have embarked on building new nuclear plants, and they just said, no, 5 years or 10 years and tens of billions of dollars into this thing, it's just no, it's just hard no. Anyway, so the $200, whoa, come on. You can do better. And there's very, very, very smart people in the province of Ontario. There's very, very, very smart people in the provincial government, and you should listen to them. You listen to them. Listen to the people that have spent their lives studying the things that you're working on. Anyway, okay, my name's Bruce. This is my channel. I hope that you like it. If you like it, please subscribe. If you don't like it, please subscribe. Either remember, I'm a subscriber driver. I got 615. Gosh, that'd be magical. But there, and you can leave a comment. If you think I'm just completely out to lunch, leave a comment. I mean, some people left some lovely comments in my earlier video focused on bike lanes, and thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. That's it. Anyway, have a great day. Okay, bye now. See ya. Thank you.